What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a comparison review kind of slash thingy for the Xbox One controller and the Xbox 360 controller. I did just get the Xbox One or the console about 4 or 5 days ago, and I'm loving it so far. So I decided to go ahead and give you this kind of, I guess it's just a comparison for this one because I recently did a review for just the controller. So this will be the comparison. First off, the joysticks, analog sticks, do feel a little different. They have the tire-like tread around them, unlike on the Xbox 360 controller. They are a little bigger, and these have the little, I guess, little indentations that kind of help your grip, but not really. I think that's what they were intending it for. Yeah, that's what they wanted it to be for, but not really. I've used this controller for probably about 4 or 5 months, so the analog sticks are still in decent condition. My other controller is in a lot worse condition, and yeah, and you can also tell the face buttons are different as well. That has the black background and the color of the letter on the one controller, but on the 360 it's just the whole button is one color. So I mean, really, it just kind of helps for the design for the Xbox One because it's all about just the black, sleek design, and I think it looks a lot better on the Xbox One controller personally, but really not a big factor for me. Something I talked about that was very annoying for me for the Xbox One controller is that they moved the home button from here to here. As you can see on the 360 controller, it's right in between the start and select button, which they did get rid of on the Xbox One controller. So I was so used to pressing this to look at which friends were online or looking at a message or whatever, that whenever I first got the console, I was pressing right here, and obviously nothing would happen because there's not a button right there. Whenever I'm trying to look at something like that. So again, it's just a little bit of an inconvenience thing, but it's all in all not a big factor, just something you'll have to get used to. And it's something that I know is a huge factor for so many Xbox 360 controller users. The number one biggest complaint for their controller was the D-pad. Like I said in my review, personally, I don't have a huge problem with this. I mean, it did what I needed to do. I never had a big use for the D-pad anyhow in games. It was more just something I would do for, moving across the menus or something like that. But they did fix it on the Xbox One. It's no longer a disc. It's just a plus sign, and it does click, as you can hear right there. It clicks. So it's more just like a button, how this is just kind of one. This kind of makes it feel like each one is its own individual button. So all in all, that's awesome. Right here, the triggers are fairly small, and the bumpers are very small as well. And as on this, they are so much bigger. The triggers is because the motors, I'm sure they had to make it bigger for that. And just for design and comfort, it kind of just curves right around there, as you can see with the bumpers. If you try to click it right there, though, it's a little bit harder. It's a lot harder than if you were trying to click it down there. So not really a huge deal, but they did get rid of the battery pack, and instead the batteries are stored right there. And I'm still running off the ones that they gave me 5 days ago, whenever I put them in there. So battery life is very good. I'm still getting used to the Xbox One console and all that, so at this point I don't even know if you can see how much battery is left in the controller, but it's not really a big deal for me. Yeah, the analog sticks are a little smaller than these. I haven't tried it on a first-person shooter yet, like Battlefield or Call of Duty, so I can't really vouch for how good they are for accuracy or something like that. But as far as FIFA and Dead Rising goes, they are just as they're intended for. So that's good as well. Yeah, I guess that's really about it. I prefer the Xbox One controller mainly for design. I think the Xbox One controller definitely wins over design. But as far as comfort goes, I'd probably have to go for the reliable Xbox 360 controller, just because the way I grip my bumper buttons are like that. So no matter how you click it, they click the exact same no matter where. As opposed to with the Xbox One, it doesn't really click on the top right there. So it's not really a huge deal, but it is a big factor for me just because I'm a huge FIFA player. So whenever you're trying to get that quick finesse shot off and you accidentally don't click it, that's a game changer for me. So I would prefer the Xbox 360 over the Xbox One, but all in all, the Xbox One is a fantastic controller, and I would recommend it. I have not tried the PlayStation 4 controller. I'll probably get the PlayStation 4 maybe after it goes down in price by at least $100. But until then, I'm loving the Xbox One controller. Look forward to a bunch of videos, such as tutorials, and I might even review the Xbox One console. So let me know what you think about that, and thanks for watching.